Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Made with Love. My name is Heather and today I'm going to do a pretty easy, quick Christmas display. It's very few supplies, but when you put it all together, it's going to be like a big, significant statement piece. So I'm starting with 3 of these artist panels, the wooden ones from Dollarama. They're $4.50 each, and these are the 12 by 16. I'm also using 6 of these plastic little photo stands. I've already taken the picture out and the protective coating off of them. I'm also going to need a piece of this felt, which is actually the painter's drop cloth. And this piece I've already cut to 15 inches by 48 inches. I've got the snow blanket. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to use this or not, but I think I will. I don't know how much of this yet. And I've got a whole bunch of these window cleaners. I just dropped half of them, but these ones all have these big, pieces, the big houses on them. And I thought I could line them up on to the pieces of this, so we get a nice Christmassy village. So I'll just be figuring out the placement of these in just a few moments. I'm also going to be using hot glue and duct tape. Just because with my arm, I can't really do too much. But I also, because this is just going to be for a couple month display, I don't want to wreck these boards. I actually bought these for another craft I want to do. More for for a permanent project. This is just going to be a temporary, quick seasonal thing. So I'm not even going to take the plastic off. I'm keeping the plastic on, and I'm just going to duct tape the 3 of them together. So I will be back when I get the 3 boards duct tape. So it's going to be a struggle for me today to do that. And I'm also going to, after I get the boards kind of taped together, so they're going to make like one big board like this. I'm also just going to go with my this drop cloth here, and I'm just going to glue the front edge down. So I'm just going to hot glue the felt just to the front ledge, or the front little bit of this, to help conceal what kind of a board we're using for this display. So I'll be back when I get the cloth glued to the front and all 3 boards taped together. Okay, so now I've got the 3 boards taped together, and I've got the front edge of the drop cloth taped to the front edge of the boards. So now I just got to figure out the placement of my 6 frames here. My tape went a little crooked when I was taping, but I'm trying to use my tape as a guideline as to where these will be set up to make my village scene. Just gotta reline these up. They're not going to be perfect. Each one, they don't stand quite exact height. Some of them are bent funny, I guess. So I'm just trying to make this, best as I can. I mean, I can always slip something in where these frames are, and I can kind of take them together from the back if I need to. But I think that's where I want them to be. Now, before I do that, I'm going to measure how far from the edge of this to where the edge of this frame is, and I'm going to cut a slit in my drop cloth so I can tuck these into the drop cloth. So I'm going to grab my tape measure. I'm just going to edge of this one to the edge of this. I've got about 5 inches. I want to make sure I got about 5 inches on this side as well. Not quite. There's the 5 inches. Okay, so I'm going to measure my drop cloth. Put these in my way. my drop cloth back down and measure the 5 inches. And I'm going to cut a, oops, I can't even see what I'm doing, I'm out of frame. Sorry, I measured the 5 inches from the edge of this here up 5 inches. So that's where I'm gonna cut a line into my drop cloth. So I'm just gonna go and grab my X-Acto knife. My scissors, I don't think I can pierce through this as easily, but I can get one clean slit with my X-Acto knife. So my X-Acto knife wasn't really working very good, but I just grabbed the scissors. I guess I'll just snip. I'm just using this board here to help hold it all down, and also I know I'm getting a straight line. It's a little bit jaggy, but that's okay, at least it's more straight. I moved it, I just want to make sure I'm still at the 5 inches. Still at about the 5-inch mark here. I'm just going to continue cutting. I'm not cutting all the way. I kept about from the end. I think it's almost 2 inches, I believe. And yeah, 2 inches. So I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave 2 inches at the other end. I'm not going to go past that point either. So I'm only going to go to about here. So I've got that cut, so I've got a slit in here. So now I'm just going to bring this forward, and now I'm just going to put these down right where I wanted them to be. So make sure I get these lined up, and I'm going to just duct tape these frames down in place. And then with this, you can see I'm kind of going to just make a slit is there, so then the frame goes through these. So that's what I'm just going to do. I'm just going to get these lined up. Just put it this way. These lined up like that. And get these taped down and get the drop cloth down in place, so then you won't even be able to see really where they are. That's also why the other snow cloth is available. I'm going to use that too, just to kind of help conceal this slit, because you'll probably be able to see the blue tape through here. Blue duct tape is the only one I could find today. So I'm just going to continue attaching these, and then I will be back when I get these 6 taped in place. All right, so I've now got the picture frames all taped in here. So I got they're taped in behind, and I'm just getting the drop cloth back into place. So it's hard to see on here, but the way these picture frames is there's the front piece goes all the way down. The back part is up maybe about 1 inch or so. So I'm gonna use that as my guideline. So all my stuff I use, all my window cleaners, I'm going to use at that line. So I'm kind of putting the drop cloth kind of up close to that line, so I know kind of where I want the window cleaners to be, so they'll be seen. I'm not too worried how this looks, because I'm just, like I said, I'm going to be using that snow blanket for the front just to kind of finish it all off and make it look a little bit streamlined and a little bit neater. Just going to move a few of this stuff out of my way. Don't need to move anymore. cleaners kind of lined up in the order I need them. Move this up here a little bit so I've got a little more room now. Okay. I bought these window cleaners so long ago. I don't know. I don't think it was Dollarama or Dollar Tree. I believe I bought it at the Liquidation World. And I like the color. They're in the blue and silver. So this one's got the two small houses. This one here's got this huge house. So this one I actually want to have more in the center. And I got this nice big one of the kids, you know, the skating. That will be on the one side. I have a nice nativity scene, so I'll put that one on the other side. And another snowman. So I want to make a nice village. So nativity scene. And maybe the kids playing in the middle here, like this, there. And then on these other two houses, I can kind of stick in to kind of piece everything together. So I'm going to start with the nativity scene. If I can find where this wants to come up. And if I need to, I can get some clear tape and tape these on. Because I always find, even with the window cleaners, you're sticking them on your windows, they always seem to need a little bit of tape to help hold them up. And right now I'm just trying to do the placement of these to figure out if this is how I want them to be. You got to be extra careful when they are this big. You don't rip them. Sometimes they are not, like this one here, it's not cut all the way through. It does happen. And if I were to pull on that, I could end up ripping the window cleaner in half because I have done that in the past. Last big one. And then I'm not using the snowflakes for this. I'm going to save the snowflakes for a different one. Let's see, I can put this here. And I do have some room for these other little houses, kind of like overlapping some of these. I'm just going to move the order of these. I think this will look so much better if I do it this way. I just don't want to stick. These two down. I'm going to get this other one in place, and then I can kind of slip those ones up a little higher. I can kind of slip these like here, one up here. So it looks like, you know, the village is kind of up there behind everything as well, like that. So I'm just going to get my tape. I'm just going to kind of tape them into place now. And I also have some faux snow, so I think I'm going to spray the back with the faux snow. I'm going to try that first. I'm going to go grab the faux snow first. So there's my faux snow. I bought it at Dollarama. I paid $4.25. I don't know if that's the best I don't know if that's the greatest deal, but their small cans were maybe a quarter this size and they were $2 something each. So I'm like, I'm paying I think it was $2.25, and then this was $4.25, so I'm paying $2 more, and I'm getting like 3/4 more. So I'm like, I think it works out to be a better deal, but I don't know. I didn't go price checking anywhere else for faux snow. It was just at Dollarama, so I just bought it from there. I'm usually one of those people who, stuff like this, I will go and shop around and price check, but once in a while when I'm just at the store and I just need a few things, I don't mind a couple dollars more. I mean, this is just for Christmas, so it's not like it's not going to get used up. And sometimes I'll spend a little more on some smaller seasonal crafts than I would for year-round crafting, just because of it's seasonal, so it's just a don't want to spray the window cleaner. I can already tell from the back how much of improvement that made. It makes it so much easier to see the window cleaner. I've never actually used this on plastic like this, so I'm hoping that it's okay. But that has made such a huge difference already to make everything kind of stand out, easier to see. So now I'm just gonna move this because I wanted this one to kind of be up here, kind of behind there like that. Oops. I've got the snow on my finger, so I can't really touch anything. Same with this one, if I can get this to kind of tucked up here. So I'm just going to go grab the clear tape and just tape those in place. And then I will just put down the faux snow down the front, and this will be done. Alright, so I've done a second coat of this on the back, and then there was from the front you could see some of the gaps where there wasn't anything, so I just kind of sprayed a little bit through over top of the picture. So I'm going to wait for that to dry, and then I can kind of brush off because I kind of few places where it's a little bit too heavy with the snow, but I just thought I could kind of tie in everything. Now I'm going to grab the snow blanket here and just put a little chunk of this across the front. Don't need a big strip, I just need a small amount. Okay, so I'm just trying to figure out how much I need to cut. Here would be good. Stretch this. I love how this stuff, you can just kind of stretch it and play around with it to make it thicker and wider. So I'm just going to pull this around to get a little bit more of like a snowbank kind of effect. Oops. Don't want to tear into it though. It's okay if I do a little few places. Just lay this up here. That. See if I can pull it. Oops, don't want to pull it apart. Just trying to see if I can get it to stretch just a little bit more. If not, I guess I'll have to cut another little piece. Tuck it in under that. Guess I'll need just another small little piece because it just doesn't quite fit to those ends. But there. My scissors just need to be sharpened. I'll have to do that one day before I do any more projects because these scissors just do not want to cut through anything. Okay, just gonna kind of cut this in half. Kind of gives me a few little thicker pieces here for these sides. Just kind of pull it and just kind of tuck it in here so it looks like one big piece of snow. Do the same thing on the other side, just kind of piece it together and tuck it in. There. So there it is. Like I said, I just have to wait for the snow spray to dry a little bit more. And this, the cross up here on the church of the nativity scene kept wanting to fold over, so I've doubled it up with tape on both sides. It will stand up straight. So I'm just going to give this stuff a little bit time to dry, and then I will cut around the cross and clean that up a little bit. This tree here, same thing. I just put a little piece of tape and just kind of folded it down behind itself into a triangle so the tree just stands up a bit better. Like I said, I'm just going to wait for this snow spray to dry, and then I can just kind of go in and just kind of wipe off wherever I think it's just too much. But it's too sticky right now to do that, but it's easier to wipe off once it's dry. It kind of just brushes right off. So you can see this is on my kitchen table, just how big of a piece of display this will be. I'm just gonna figure out where I'm going to display it because I gotta measure and figure out where it's gonna fit. And then I will be back when I've got it displayed. All right, I measured it. I have nowhere for it at the moment. I guess it's just gonna sit here on my kitchen table. It's gonna just require, something underneath it to help stabilize it to move. So the way the boards are, because they're just duct tape, so they just kind of want to give a little bit. So I'm just gonna leave it here. I guess this is where it's gonna be staying for a few days. But it didn't take long to make, just a few simple things. I mean, you can make it bigger or smaller. I was just going to just put each of these window clingers in their own little picture frame. And then I thought, well, how many picture frames would I need? And I thought, well, if I line them up to make a village. And then I kind of just went from there on how to make it like a one solid piece of display. I guess, again, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who's subscribing to my channels and watching my videos, and I'll see you in the next ones. Bye.